going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're back in my shop and we're going to continue working on Patch Adams, my TJ Go-Kart buggy thing. So I would say I am 95% done with this. There's still some things that I want to do, and there's a couple more things I want to do later on down the road, but I would say phase one of this bro kart is pretty much done. So on the last video, I think I pulled it out of my shop, drove around some snow, kind of played with it just a little bit. But since then, what I did was I painted the frame and I put some decals on. So you can ask anybody that's been in my shop lately or any of my neighbors, every time that I've done any welding or done basically any work on this thing, I've just been jamming 80s music. And so I kind of wanted to go with a cool like Vice City 80s vibe, but I am super pumped about how that turned out. I feel like that hood decal just screams Vice City. Like the seats and the harnesses work really good together with that decal on top. Yeah, I'm super excited to get this on the trail and test it out and see exactly what it would do. And also I did get a Axle off-road helmet. So shout out to Axle Off-Road. They make super cool, lightweight off-road helmets. This one is not the DOT one, but they do make DOT helmets as well. With this rig right here, I'm definitely gonna be wearing a helmet for some sketchy stuff. And so I've got so it came with a travel bag. So I'm just gonna have a little basket right there for my helmet to go so I can pop it on real quick and keep my noggin safe. I'm a pretty hard-headed person, but I'm not as hard as that DOM. So shout out to Axle Off-Road for hooking it up with a helmet. I really appreciate it, and I'll definitely be using it a lot. So what we're gonna be working on tonight is something that I honestly didn't realize that I haven't done yet until somebody put it in the comments. They were like, yeah, you need to put a steering box brace. And I was like, and I looked and I haven't done that yet. So I went to my friends at Barnes 4-Wheel Drive, and I've got a couple of things on here that I need to do that I haven't done yet. I feel like I've just been so busy with getting it done, I forgot, some really important things. And one of those important things is toe points. So I do have a winch on the front, but I like to have a toe point. That way, if I am in a pickle and I need to get out of this pickle, I like to do it very quickly. I don't like to send D-rings and stuff like that. I want to hurry up and get out of whatever situation that I'm in. So let's do an unboxing real quick. I can do it like the TikTokers. All right. Always put your knife blade up. Don't be like me and cut yourself like every day. So, I'll throw those right next to my propane heater. So the first thing that I got is obviously, I've got the steering box brace. Look at that. Look how beefy that is. I forgot how big these things are. Sweet. So that's gonna be perfect. So this is, oh, look at that weld. So this is gonna be absolutely perfect for how low this thing is. So I need to go ahead and get this warm and painted. And then check out what else I got. And it comes with a bolt. Might use that. So the next thing I got is this D-ring clevis mount. So I am probably gonna be putting a D-ring. This will be going on the back, and we're gonna be welding this on and possibly putting some bracing on it. But that is a thick piece of metal, holy crap. And the next thing that I'm excited about, and I only got one because I thought it would look kind of cool, is this. So this is a huge, thick piece of metal, and this is I believe this is what they call the dirt head. And this is like a quick shackle. So you have a hole to put a D-ring, and you also have a spot to put like a kinetic rope or a soft shackle. Like if you're in a bind and you need to get out of this bind really quick, you can just throw a tow rope on and pull and get out of the situation that you're in, which I really, really like. So you don't have to sit there and find a D-ring, or if the D-ring's tight, this, that, and the other. No, you just throw it on this hook, and you get snatched out, or you snatch somebody else out. One thing that really drew me into this is look at the welding surface. So you'll be able to weld all right here, all right there on both sides. Whew. That is a crap ton of strength that this is gonna have. And I think it's gonna be absolutely perfect on the front of this bro kart here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some paint on this. And I'm probably gonna hit this with some Seymour paint. That way it'll go ahead and dry. And then whenever it's ready to bolt on, we can bolt it on. So I'm just gonna hit this with some brake cleaner just to get some of that nastiness off. Just some of that stuff right there. They put some coating on it so it won't rust. Those welds are really good. I may even paint the backside. Just kidding. So I'm a really impatient person, especially when it comes to paint. So I like to use Seymour just because it dries to the touch in like 15 minutes. So like whenever I paint something, I don't have time to sit and wait for it to dry, especially because I don't do a very good job painting stuff. And so I'm just gonna hit this with some Big Rig and just kind of like I did everything else. And then it'll probably be dry in like 10 minutes. No primer. That's gonna be nice there. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry a couple of minutes and then I'm gonna flip it over and then poorly paint the backside or the underside. So while that is drying, I'm going to figure out exactly where I want to put this super cool shackle thingy. So I've played around which side that I like it on. And to be honest with you, I like it on both sides. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the passenger side since I'm putting that skid plate over here. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it just looked cooler on the passenger side. That way, you know, because this, I'm adding weight to this and this would kind of counteract as, I don't know, I just don't want to put everything on the driver's side on this vehicle. So I think I'm gonna go with the passenger side. What do y'all think? So I'm going to now find a marker and I'm just gonna clean up this area and just make sure that, I want to make sure that I get really, really good welds on this. Because there's gonna be a lot of stress on this right here. So, so what I'll do is I'll probably do one pass and then like, you know, one pass here, and then I'm probably gonna do 2 passes on this. So that way I know that it's got a good grip on this bumper. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this cleaned up. Okay, so I have the bumper all cleaned up. I've got it ground down. I got to make a ground on the frame. I got the battery disconnected. And this took a lot to get that mill scale off of this. I don't know if it's because it's so thick. I feel like it just took a lot of sanding to get that mill scale off right there. But anyway, it's clean, it's ready to weld, and it's gonna go just like this, just like that. So I'm going to fire up the welder, and crap, I gotta do a ground. I gotta find the ground, and then I'll probably just do a couple of tack welds, and then I'm gonna go ahead and burn this baby in. I feel like that looks so cool to me. I don't know why. Like, it looks really cool, and it's gonna be super functional, and it's gonna be really convenient, so I can just get a strap out of the back and pop it right there and pull somebody out. Or probably what's realistically gonna happen is my belly's gonna get hung up somewhere and somebody's gonna have to pull me off because I'm high centered. That's okay because I have a super cool toe point. have it all welded up, and I think it's pretty good. And I think this weld's turned out pretty good. It's definitely not coming off. Holy crap. Oh, here it is. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this one on. I'm thinking I'm going to put this, I thought about putting it like right here or something, but this piece of metal isn't that thick. So I thought about I could put it on the side right here and then build a plate that welds onto this and then comes on to this and kind of do like a fish plate. Or I could do it, or I could do something like that, like right here, and kind of incorporate these tubes and kind of just let it work off these tubes a little bit. I don't know, I feel like it would be stronger with a plate right there. The only downside that I see of putting it right here is that, say if I need to be pulled from this side for some reason, you know, this is pretty far away as far as you can get from that side. So I think what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to take this D-ring mount and I'm going to put it right here, and then I'm going to take this piece of metal, I think this was an old shackle off of YJ, and I'm going to put it right here and then basically just weld it right there, or something like that. Something along the lines of that, just because I don't want this to get snatched off of the frame, and then by adding this, so it's going to have to snatch this weld, the rosette weld, all of this weld. So it's just more welding surface, more better. So now I'm just going to go ahead and clean this frame up and get ready to weld everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this tack welded up, and this is a really big, thick piece of metal. So just like the front, I'm gonna try to kind of heat this up because obviously I'm welding to a lot thinner piece of metal. So I'm gonna try to, you know, I'm no professional welder, but what I'm gonna try to do is just trying to pull it up right here and then bank over to the thinner stuff. That way I can try to heat this up, because it's going to take a lot more to heat this piece of metal up than it is that smaller, thinner gauge piece of metal. So I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of tack welds on it, and then we'll kind of see where it goes. Love me when I'm gone. So I feel like my welds are pretty awesome, but the bracketry could be better. I think I'm gonna come back and maybe put a little triangle or a gusset, something right there, just to kind of give that some more strength. But for right now, I think that's fine. So you can see right there, look at the bluing right there. You can see where I made really good penetration. So pretty pleased with that. The only thing that I don't like is that this area right here, it's just kind of in the center. But I'm probably gonna let this cool off and come back out here tomorrow and mess with it. Okay, so a little update for you. I have the rear all painted up, but I feel like this is gonna be super strong and probably used is a word I'll use. So I put in an extra brace right here. I did another plug weld. I made my weld incorporate with this piece of tube right there. So everything is just kind of one piece of metal, so to speak. And probably need to touch that up with paint. It'd be all right. But I feel like that is going to be super strong and very effective. And check out the front. So I did end up painting this right here just because I wanted it to stand out. And I feel like that looks super cool. Now that I've painted it gray, I feel like it looks like one of those battle bots or something that used to be on TV. I don't know why. And I kind of dig that there's only one. What do y'all think? So it started raining and I got bored. Ended up painting the Barnes four-wheel drive steering box mount. I painted it green. And then I found an old decal that I had. I put it on there and I flipping messed it up right there. But I'm gonna let this dry and see if I can get it to come off and look cool. If not, then I'll probably just paint it all green, but we're gonna at least try. Looking back, what I wish I'd have done is just painted this green the first time and then just put the Barnes sticker on it. That was not very smart on my end. So now I'm just gonna try to remove all this and probably just ruin everything. Well, here it is, y'all. It looks pretty not great, but why didn't I just put the sticker on the green? I don't know. I messed up on the D. Apparently, that just didn't stick very well, but I think it looks cool. I could have done it way easier. Like I could have already had this on by now, but, and sorry for the rain noise. But now that I have this all painted, I'm gonna try to put it on the Jeep. Now what I'm gonna do, the first thing is I'm gonna take off this bottom steering box bolt. And this is it's a 5/8 and a 16, whichever one. I feel like the 5/8 feels a little better. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip this off real quick. So there's a threaded hole in the bottom of the frame. And you can see it goes in just like that right there. And that's what we're gonna be mounting with basically this right here. So, and then so you've got two holes. So if you have like a Barnes four-wheel drive winch bumper, it's already, I believe it's already threaded and ready for you to go, but I don't have one for this side over here. I just have one for right here. So I'm just gonna have to make one for right there. And now what I'm gonna do is take my steering box and just slide it up here, just like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in right here. That way it just kind of holds it in place. Stay. So now I can take this and get this one started. Just like that. So there should be another one right here, and then there's also where we're going to. Here, I'll show you. Let me get this tightened up, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I have these two mounted on. I have this one on and this one on, and this bolt right here was supposed to go to this other side right there where it goes into the cross member. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to, so what I've done in the past is I've drilled this out and I've ran the bolt in and I've ran a socket and a nut. I've ran a wrench and a nut all the way over and then tightened it on. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna use like a thick bolt with a self-tapping end, and I'm just gonna drill this out and just tap it and just run a bolt in and let that hold on right there. All right, so I have everything bolted on and I'm pretty pleased with it. So I'll show you the bolt. There it is right there. I got that all torqued down. And now my steering box is protected. I think that's pretty cool. So I had an idea after I saw how good that this turned out. I think I want to paint this grill. And you might say, oh, that'd be easy, just take the grill off. No, I stupidly welded it right there. So this grill was like a permanent fixture. So I think I'm going to, oh man, I really wish I'd have done this before, but I think it's gonna look way better with that color and this color grill. So I don't know. I feel like it's just a lot of black up front and I kind of want to get rid of it. And I really think that this would look really good with that Detroit green. So I'm gonna get this all taped up and then I'm gonna start working on getting all this sanded. Okay, so I have this sanded and cleaned as good as I'm gonna do it. So now I'm gonna hit it with some of this Seymour Paints, the big rig. This is the Detroit Diesel green, and which is what I basically painted everything else in. So I think it's gonna look really, really cool with this green grill, the black bumper, and like the yellow headlights. It's gonna look like a frog or something. So this is definitely something that I should have done like before I really put all this stuff on here. Like I don't know, I should have took the winch off, and I don't know, this is kind of like a spur of the moment. Like when I first started this video, I had zero intentions of painting this grill. This is kind of how like my ADD works. So we're painting the grill. I don't know if it's gonna be in the thumbnail or not, but either way, let's go ahead and get some paint on and see what it looks like. I dig it already, holy crap. I forgot to put tape right there. I'm pretty good. Holy crap, this turned out really awesome. I feel like that looks a million times better already, even with a half a roll of frog tape on here. I feel like this turned out better than the hood and the panels. I got a little overspray on that, but I'm just gonna shove that in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all this crap out and see how much overspray I got. I feel like just painting that grill just brought this whole thing to life. What do y'all think? Do y'all like the black grill or do y'all like the green grill? Like I said before, I had zero intentions of painting this grill. Once I painted that Barnes steering skid, I realized that the front needed a little bit more color. And I think that completely changed the look and the feel of this whole little go-kart buggy thing. But anyway, guys, that's probably gonna do it for this video. I appreciate y'all watching me do the final touches on Patch Adams here. So I'm gonna be going to the BleepinJeep Kart Wars in October of 2026, and I'm gonna be taking Patch Adams here, and I'm gonna be going up against a bunch of guys that have built little go-karts like this, and we're gonna be going head to head in a Kart Wars. This has been a super fun and exciting project that I started in, I think I started in October, and today is February 15th. So, I mean, I've really been hustling trying to get this thing done because I really want to take it out wheeling and do some tests on it before I take it all the way to Tennessee and go up against Matt and a bunch of other guys in the Kart Wars. So definitely make sure that you stay tuned for that. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. We'll see y'all next time on 6 Feet Under Fab.
Help me!
That's okay because I'll have a super cool, and I only got a lot of overspray everywhere, so that's pretty cool. No, I'm just kidding.